Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
What up, what up, what up?
What is up, laughter lovers? You are tuned in to Laugh Therapy, so get ready to put your worries aside and tune in, and tune in to the ultimate prescription for a happier you. I'm super excited today. It's time for another dose of Laugh Therapy, where we believe that laughter is the best medicine to elevate both your mood and your mental. And today, folks, we have a treat that is bound to have your funny bones tingling. I'm super excited. We have a Laugh Therapy vet on the show. You guys have seen him here before if you watched our first episode of Chivalry versus Simping. That was a blast. If you have not seen it, please go back and watch that episode. We had a blast. We are thrilled to welcome the rising star and comedic sensation, the one and only Carlos Anthony.
What's happening?
To the
What's
show.
happening, ladies?
What's up? I'm so excited to have him, guys. Carlos is not only here to tickle your funny bones, but to dish out some wisdom and wit about his brand new comedy special, Part-Time Famous. So grab your headphones, find a comfy spot, and prepare your popcorn and wine as Carlos takes us on a laughter-packed journey through the ins and outs of his latest comedy masterpiece. And that is not all. You guys know we do like to dive deep into the good stuff here at Laugh Therapy, which isn't just about punchlines and punch-ups, but we are diving headfirst into the dizzying discussion of double standards in life, love, and career. And to do that, y'all already know I've got my beautiful co-host with me,
JD, aka Sunshine. I just want to celebrate you for that intro.
Yes,
Let's give that up.
Yeah.
Y'all know I be
Who's she
working
talking
on-
about?
That's
Put
our
the word
queen,
masterpiece in
Carlos.
there. I was like, I know Carlos is about to be like, whoa.
Who we
You're
talking
giving me
about?
big shoes. You're giving me big shoes.
Right.
But we're gonna get right into it, Carlos. In your own words, how would you define double standards? If you had to explain them to someone who had no idea what they were, in your words, what is a double standard?
Yeah, we got to put it in layman's terms. If I can't do the same thing you can do, then that's a double standard. So, I mean, it's very simple. If we want, are we gonna break this down to gender?
Yeah, you can. You can go race, gender, career, whatever it is that you want.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I'm not getting the same opportunities that are afforded to anyone else on my same level, then yeah, it's a double standard. It's something that goes against what I believe would be the right thing to do, for lack of better words.
Okay, so you are not pro double standards.
No, I think everybody should have the same opportunity.
Everybody taking out the trash.
Yeah, everybody. Well, you know that one.
Yeah.
Well, see, now we get back into a difference than the first.
To touch a trash bag.
I do not touch trash bags. I do not.
But then that means you got that. That means you got another role that you do that JD doesn't do. So I mean, it's a give and take. It's definitely a give and take.
It should balance, yes.
Yeah.
But I am pro double standards myself for reasons like that. I feel like I'm not fully traditional when it comes to especially gender roles. I'm not fully traditional when it comes to gender roles because I do tap into both feminine and masculine energy. And I feel like in today's generation is realizing that a lot of us have feminine and masculine energies. We have our certain, percentages or whatever that we operate in. So there are certain things that I don't do. I'm a girly girl when it comes to like trash, bugs, vomit, just icky things.
Okay.
But then also I'm a grinder, I'm a hustler, I'm a provider and a protector. So I'm the person who likes to grind and get my money, and I'm also the person who likes to know that all the bills are handled, everything's, down the line, we have what we need, this, that, and the other, which would be considered or historically has been considered a masculine trait.
All right.
So me personally, I am pro double standards in a lot of gender roles when it comes to certain things. For you, JD.
Before we move on, though, we got to say happy birthday to you.
Most definitely, yeah.
Happy birthday to you. So y'all with your birthday
birthday.
shout outs. Appreciate you, Jazzy.
It is
Shout out
King
to
Me
Joe
Comedy
King.
on all social media platforms, including Cash App. I am accepting birthday gifts
Yes,
all
indeed.
months.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Leo,
there
gang,
we
gang.
go.
But yes. JD, in your own words, how would you define a double standard?
Basically what Carlos said, a set of rules or guidelines that we are expected to follow, that one group doesn't have that same expectation as the other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see where y'all are going. I feel like if I were explaining it to someone who didn't understand them at all, because it's so complex, for me, I feel like double standards are almost individual biases. Like media has a play in it, government has a play in it, but also I feel like culturally,
society,
yeah, we have a say in it. I feel like generationally, we have a say in it. Like there are so many things that tie into double standards, right? For example, the one that I wanted to bring up was this Alabama riverboat brawl, right? When they started jumping that black man, it was, oh my God, no violence, we shouldn't be fighting, blah, 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 blah. Or no, it was...
it's okay.
Yeah, it was okay. He was jumping that black man, and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, everybody was just watching. The police were there.
Yeah, the police were there the entire time this was happening. It was all good.
While they was jumping the black guy.
Right. Until a slew of black people stepped in.
How many people? How many?
It was a slew of us. Do you hear us?
Is there a C and an H in
that? A slew. And they came off that boat, y'all, like, King Kong.
It was the hat in the air that signaled everybody. Like, woo!
That changed the whole game now. The hat in the air.
Oh,
I never even knew that was a call signal till just now. I was like, yeah, okay.
Right, it's now the bat signal in our community.
My favorite part was watching that guy from up top. He was yelling at first, and then once they started really jumping him, my man took off.
Yeah. It was a collective effort. It was definitely a collective effort, and rightfully so.
I'm not gonna watch a black person get jumped.
To step in. So they were standing up there and they're yelling like, "Hey, get them!" or da-da-da-da-da. When they realized the cops were not on our side, homie. Oh, I loved it. I loved every bit of it, though. I'm not one of those celebrities. I was like, oh no, we should have calmed down. No, you don't just stand there and watch somebody get dragged like that either. I don't care whose job was what job or what the argument was over. You don't just stand there while someone is getting beat by 6 to 8 people.
Yeah, here's the other caveat to this. Why do we always have to be the ones to calm down? We should have calmed down. We should have done. Well, didn't nobody tell them to calm down when they jumped that man.
Exactly.
So no, we ain't calming down. It was what it was.
Because if the situation was flipped and it was a bunch of black people jumping a white guy,
then it would have been was just doing his job.
The cops would have been.
Oh, most definitely. Oh, they would have been on that fast.
Out there real quick. Yeah, they wouldn't have just been standing watching.
I agree. So in your offense, I mean not in your offense, in your opinion, in both of your opinions, you guys feel the riverboat brawl was justified?
Hey, grab your chair.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was one of the questions that people were asking for double standards. I was like, I agreed. I'm 100% pro us defending ourselves.
No,
it's not like it was a one-on-one thing and you just try to step in and be like, all right, y'all need to chill. Nah, they was jumping, homie.
Yeah, and then other people started to come in as well. So I mean, this was a melee. This was a brawl. This was a slew of people.
A slew. I mean,
it wouldn't have been a melee though if it was black folks. It wouldn't have been a melee.
I agree. I think that is a societal double standard. In my opinion, I feel like when it was them against us, it was cool. But when it was us against them, as in the favor was on our end, it was no longer okay.
100%.
And I love the post that said, I'm glad y'all got these thugs under arrest.
Right.
From the thuggery that they were participating in.
Yeah, no.
The songs is what's getting me. The gospel songs attached to all the videos.
The gospel song.
Joy down in my soul as they go into jail. I love us so much.
Yeah.
The next double standard was Tory Lanez just got sentenced to 10 years for his sentence. And the argument is not whether or not he deserved 10 years. It's whether or not they feel he would have gotten the 10 years if he weren't Tory Lanez.
Well, he got to 10 years because he also had other situations going on.
He didn't go to jail for shooting Meg.
No, even if he wouldn't have shot her, he wasn't supposed to have a gun at all because he is a felon. He wasn't supposed to have it
firing
in a vehicle because he is a felon. So he didn't go to jail for shooting Meg. Shooting Meg is what got him caught.
Correct. So no, that's not. I mean, the law did what it was supposed to do in that particular case. So it is what it is. And I've seen a few of the little back and forth with people saying, "Oh, he got too much time." Well, again, taking consideration everything that happened prior to that put him in this situation.
And I'm also thinking how much suffering
in the middle of
come on now.
How much suffering does he have to cause in order to earn 10 years was the part that got me, because she got shot. Like, did y'all want her to die? Did you want her to lose a limb? Did you want something absolutely horrible to happen to her in order for him to receive 10 years? Because that's if I get shot in my foot, I'd be like,
happening to me. I need you to have as much jail time as possible
Yeah,
because it could have happened.
And and essentially he actually got off light. It was being a felon, he got off light.
Up to 22 years,
it was up
and
to
he got
22.
10.
So he got 10, and he probably will get out in 5 to 7 somewhere in that neighborhood. So let's everybody calm down.
I agree.
And he gonna be living the life. He ain't gonna be in regular.
No, they're gonna put him in regular. He gonna be in regular.
No, I'm saying he gonna get a lot of amenities.
Right? Yeah. No, because they know him and they know who he is. And
he probably gonna record 2 or 3 albums.
He should. Spend your time wisely. Spend
your time wisely.
Spend your time wisely, young man. Spend your time wisely.
Oh man!
But here's the thing, though: if he would have shot Kylie,
he get 20. He get the whole 22,
and it wouldn't have took 3 years for the sentencing.
He got 22.
Agreed.
Easy.
So that's one of the things that they're saying was a double standard. They're like, now, had he harmed both ways, if he were not a black man, they don't feel he would have gotten much time. And if Megan were not a black woman, he would have gotten more time.
Yeah.
And they would have believed her right off the bat.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as much back and forth about whether or not he was guilty as well.
Agree.
So societal double standards in that sense. Another societal, and this one is still funny to me as well, is Jussie Smollett versus Carly Russell and the treatment of them both.
God, I was so disappointed when I found out it was a lie because I wanted to believe all of it. I'm glad she's okay.
I haven't been watching the
news. But
I'm
glad she lied.
I hadn't been watching the news, so I had only seen it on social media.
I don't know why I saw it coming, but I saw it coming. Because the first one was a toddler just walking out on the highway, and I was like, oh.
I was like, damn, they using. Me and my mama was having a whole conversation about it. Damn, they using babies to catch people now. They get real low,
getting trafficked like with babies.
I feel stupid.
Yeah.
No, that was the first one. I was like, I'm gonna let this one ride out.
I wasn't keeping up with the story until literally right before it got found out. Like I found out and I was like, oh no, and I shared something like, prayers for her. There's over 500,000 black women missing and ain't nobody looking for them. Like, come together, y'all. And then the next day, it was like the story came out that she was found, and I was like, "Oh yay!" And
she found herself. Right? Yeah, she found. Let's be very clear. She found herself.
She
came out to and knocked on the door on the road, but was it a road or something like that? Yeah, she came to the house on the road.
They found video footage of her going into the gas station to
buy cheese whiz and crackers.
Come on now.
And she told them that lady fed her cheese crackers.
No. That was the nicest kidnappers ever. They didn't tie her up because they didn't want to leave any rings on her arm. I mean, what kind of kidnappers are these?
That's what I said. I was like, they didn't want to leave any rings on your arm. For who? For who to find?
Right. That's not the way kidnappers work.
I was like, if you're kidnapped, who did they think was gonna find you?
Just kidnap her, but hold on, don't hurt her. Don't hurt her. That's not how kidnapping goes.
Yeah, so that was weird. JD, I'll go this way. What role you say privilege plays in perpetuating double standards?
I think it's so we have white privilege, right? So I'll speak to that. And which we all know it happens, but we don't talk about it. So a double standard as far as like if Tory would have shot a white woman, how the country would have been in an uproar about Tory shooting a black man shooting a white woman, and that stems from back in slavery and Jim Crow. You can't touch a white woman. A white woman is of the highest protectance, right? So that's why they feel like they have so much authority over everything. I saw this video, matter of fact, yesterday, of a bird stealing a sandwich out of a convenience store. Like he slipped in through the doors. Yeah. And it was this one Hispanic dude, he kind of opened the door for the bird to get out. And then a white woman just walked in with her privilege, trying to steal the sandwich back from the bird. And why do you feel like it is your due diligence to steal back this sandwich for this shop from this bird?
That bird should have beaked her.
I know. That's it. Quit fucking with the animals. Right. Let him have a sandwich, girl. That ain't none of your business.
Right. Them people got insurance. They got sandwich insurance.
It's just one one sandwich, and that bird worked really hard for that fucking sandwich.
I'm sure he did.
You, Carlos, what role do you think privilege plays in perpetuating double standards?
I'm co-signing. I believe it plays a huge part in double standards because they have a certain level that they are able to get away with certain things in a certain manner that we don't. And we talk about it all the time during the justice system. The justice system is a really good idea, a good view into what happens in white crimes doesn't always get the same treatment as black crimes. And I mean, they could be the exact same crime, but where he may get 10 years over here, he getting 45. And that's, you're trying to figure this out and try to make sense of it, unless, again, like we were talking about in Tory Lanez, where there's some other extenuating circumstances that puts them into a case where, hey, no, that's a reason why he got 45. But if you're dealing with two people of the same path, and they just two different colors, and he got 10, he got 45. Well, come on, man, make it make sense.
It happens every day.
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't understand why we haven't passed a bill that states that judges can decrease time but can't increase it based on the amount based on the crime. Because I feel like there are different sentences because there are different judges all over the country. You know, so they see this person in front of them and they may have their own biases specific to the crime. But if there's a law that says, hey, theft above $50,000 is a minimum of 3 years, then cool. A minimum of 3 years, but if it says it's a max of 10, the judge can't decide, oh, you've had crimes before, you're doing 15 or you're doing the 10. If it says you can do like, I just feel like there should be like a bill or something in a place that says a judge can lower it if they ask for the 10, but can't go above it, so that we don't have those type of discrepancies statewide. We're asking for the wrong things on our ballots. is how I feel, but. I feel like privilege definitely plays a role in perpetuating double standards. I'm going to go the opposite route and speak to our privilege and our power as black individuals instead of, I feel like all of society already knows where we're disadvantaged, right? They've already proven to us that they just don't care, right? About those disadvantages. However, I feel that I take pride in some of the privileges that I'm allotted as being black. As being a woman, as being a mother, right? A pretty privilege, right?
That is true.
Pretty privilege of being cute and just the free things that you may get, or the different ways that you're treated. I definitely can say that I'm treated differently when I'm actually dressed up and I'm cute than when I have on my sweatpants and my hair ain't done and I'm busted and I ask somebody for something, or I'm, looking for help or things
ready
like
to open that door for you when you dress up and you look nice.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, I done did that stuff. I was like, all right,
Exactly. When
get
I'm
your own
cute.
door button up.
Exactly.
Niggas are
Right.
open it for you when you look good.
The amount of people that are willing to open my door, want to make sure that I get to my car safely, or can I help you with your groceries or whatnot when I got my lashes on, is definitely different than the amount of people who it equals the amount of people who walk straight the fuck past me when I don't, right? So
Pretty privilege is true.
yeah, I definitely feel like there's a privilege in perpetuating double standards. I feel like pretty women are believed
Agreed.
quicker than an ugly one will. If quicker than someone who's unattractive.
Just go ahead and put that out there.
Let me
Oh, you ugly women better put on some makeup if you get in trouble.
So if someone who's unattractive claims that someone who was attractive harmed them in some type of way, like say it was sexual assault or domestic violence.
What you do to that beautiful human being?
Exactly. If I'm pretty, it's, oh my goodness, of course he did that to her, right? I have no reason not to believe her. But if she, like you just said, is out here and you a booger wolf, it's like, did he really have to take it? Like, were you drunk? What happened? I feel like society plays a large role in that, and pretty privilege plays a role in that. So I just wanted to speak to the other types of double standards that there are, because there are some I feel that work to our advantage. It's I don't feel like I walk on eggshells as much as a white comic would when it comes to race, right? When I get on stage, I'm like, 'cause what you gonna say? What exactly are you going to say to me that's going to equate to, oh, I feel like that was racist? I have all kinds of documents and my ancestors will rise up in me right now, right?
Clearly.
Like,
Grab the folding chairs.
exactly. So I do feel like that there are some that work in our favor. Speaking of which, how would you say double standards have influenced your journey as a comedian and a performer or entrepreneur, JD?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question, because I've always just kind of stayed my course and minded my own business. And so I feel like we just said it walking in here, what's for me is for me. So I've always felt like if I work consistently and I try to do things consistently and professionally, then things will come my way. So I don't really look at it as a privilege. I've worked for this. So it's almost one of those things now. Is nepotism and favoritism is definitely running rampant in the industry across the board. It happens in corporate America as well, and that happens. But people still got to earn their keep once they get there. So I don't really see it a lot, but I probably am oblivious, or I don't choose to look at it that way.
Do you have any? I love focusing on the positive when it comes to that. But do you have any? I had a question based on what you just said. Privilege, influenced your career.
Do you think that men get the nod before women?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, 100%.
So I would say that would be a double standard, though, right?
Yeah, and here and I'll bring up my own show that I'm starting August 12th.
Tell us about it real quick. Tell us about it real quick.
Pass the mic at the Pass Casino. My first 3 headliners are women.
Hey.
And I purposely did that. I purposely
love
did
it.
that. Mary Upchurch, Nikki Carr, and Kalia McNeil, who's also bringing Mina Q. I purposely did that because of I know what's going on in the industry. So I wanted to give them.
That's why we love you.
Yeah. Being the change we need to see. Well, I won't say need to see, but we would like to see. Because there's some funny female comedians out here trying to get
Very much so. Shout out to Joe King.
Mary Upchurch and Nikki Carr. Shout out to those women. They are out here, stomping grounds out here in Las Vegas as well. Again, he is starting a show August 12th at Pass Casino. That's in Henderson? In Henderson, Nevada here. That's what I wanted to ask you. Do you feel that starting or getting back into your career in your 40s, there is a double standard versus the younger young men who are hungry and also trying to be consistent as well?
Yeah, I believe they figure when you're on the latter end of your age, they think you've already done it all or you're washed up, and that the younger people have more to offer because they're fresh and innovative and things like that. But there are a lot of creatives in our space at 40. A lot of the times we've just realized what we're capable of doing at this age, which is crazy that it took us from 20 to 40 to really figure that out. But that's life. That's the way life happens, and that's how it goes. So no, you got to get out there and prove that my 40 means something.
I agree. And with entertainment, especially with comedy, you have to have lived in order to have something to talk about. So I feel like we should be looking at our 40s and our 50s and our 60-year-old comics because they've been through some stuff in their lives that makes it funnier because we haven't been through it yet. So even though I feel like people my age may not find it as funny because they haven't gone through some of the things that you guys have gone through yet, but when I'm sitting at the stages and I'm watching comics like you and like Butch and some senior comics or whatnot, I'm like taking those notes because I'm like, I haven't gone through that yet, but I've done divorce and kids and stuff like that to talk about, but you guys take it to a different level. So I definitely love watching some of our veteran seniors. What about you, JD? How would you say double standards have influenced your journey as an entrepreneur?
Just in the role that I've been in with working with Feminine and Rich, feminine is the new movement, right? Everybody's trying to tap into, I won't say everybody, most women are trying to tap more into their feminine energy, which I think leads to a double standard for men because men have feminine energy as well. But I think the double standard is we market it more towards women and not towards everyone. Professor Odie, he's great at letting men know that there's a balance that everyone needs to have, not just women, but men as well. It's okay to have some feminine energy as a man, and I think it helps men deal with women better and learn who they are and learn to express their emotions and feel their emotions as well, which a lot of men think is weakness, or a lot of people, period, think is weakness, but mainly men. So I think that is one thing that I've seen in my entrepreneurial journey.
Okay.
It's getting different. I don't know if more men getting sensitive now, and I say that for those men who take things from one extreme to the other. But
That's exactly what I was about to say.
But I do think that obviously I agree with you, Jess. We have to as men kind of understand that side of us in order to understand women better. And it's a finding a healthy balance because we still got to be the man.
Of course,
we still got to be the man, but we need to understand where y'all coming from as well. So I agree with that 100%.
I would as well. I would say for me in my comedy career, it's one extreme or the other. I either get the guys that are extremely respectful, which I appreciate, who are extremely respectful, extremely nice, because they've seen the stuff that happens in the industry for women trying to come up, so they're trying to make sure that they are respectful and that I'm comfortable. Or I get the complete sleaze butthole men who treat me like I'm not supposed to be there, or over sexualize or inappropriate, right? What I will say is one of the things that I appreciated most, and why we absolutely loved Carlos, is he wasn't afraid to joke with me. Because I feel like being a female in the game, I feel like it can also be uncomfortable for guys who do respect you and they want to joke with you, and they want, because you're their coworker, we're comics, right? But they don't know how, because you are a girl. They don't know if it's going to be offensive, if that's too, mannish,
so
if that's too,
eggshells.
yeah. Right. So I don't want them walking on eggshells for me either. I'm a comic, I can take a joke, I've lived, right? So I appreciated the fact that when I met Carlos, he was respectful, but he was cracking jokes and including me in those jokes, and I was able to show that, like, I can take a joke, which helped me build a little bit more of the community with some of the other male comics. It was like, oh, okay, she's kind of cool, right? Because I was like, I don't know how to show that I'm cool without making it seem like I'm open to disrespect.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So I would say that's a double standard with being a female in entertainment, because no one really knows how, if they are trying to be respectful, they don't really know how to approach it at that point, because they don't know what's acceptable and what's not for you in this stage in society, right? But also on the other end, you have the ones who just don't care and they go straight in hot, and you're like, whoa. So I feel like...
So we just gonna keep praising Carlos. One of the reasons why I love Carlos so much, and like Butch, people like that, is because in their respect for you, they respect me as well. 100%. And your relationship. There's people that respect you, that you perform with, and we're, in green rooms when I'm back there with, that will just talk to you and don't respect me.
Which is
at the
quite
same
interesting.
time. Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
And I think it's just because I'm a woman. Now, if she was with a man, I feel like it would be completely different.
You feel like you'd be acknowledged?
Yes.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I don't know. I don't have the why to that, but I
think that's just the double standard of gender.
Right.
And now that people know that I'm a comic, I start getting acknowledged. Remember, I would bring up to you at the beginning that they wouldn't talk to me, like fans and stuff wouldn't talk to me when I was standing with the guys, comics, because they would assume that I was one of y'all's wives.
Oh, I can believe that. 100%.
Yeah, they would assume that I was with one of y'all and not a comic, so they wouldn't talk to me because they didn't want to disrespect you guys. Right. And I was just like, first of all, I'm grown. Right. Like I can talk for myself whether I'm with one of them or not, but hella, I am the talent.
Right, yeah. So like, I'm here to work too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be on stage too. So I would tell her that when we first started, like, how do I establish myself as a comedian? What are we wearing that says, hey, I'm here to perform? And it just ended up being, I guess, now how I present myself. But that was a double standard as well. People just automatically assumed I was there to see the show instead of be a part of it when I was standing with the other comedians. What role would you guys say media plays in perpetuating double standards?
I mean, they have a job to do. Is I think, unfortunately, it's separation is money.
Yeah, I was like, I hate clickbait. Man.
It's separation of money. They get people to, like you just said, clickbait to buy into the separation, and that gets people clicking more. That gets people to watching more. That gets people commenting more, and those are advertising
like
dollars.
This new. Did you see the conversation between Jess Hilarious and T Madison?
I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it in passing. But again, it generates conversations, and so I mean, they have a job to do, but it's also our job to decipher through the bullshit and figure out, hey, what's real and what's not. And so I think that's human nature's biggest problem right now, is deciphering.
I agree. I feel like media plays the role of helping society not think for themselves. That's what I feel the point of media is. I went to college for media. I went to college for reporting and broadcasting, and I was so excited to be a part of finding out the truth and whatnot, until I found out a whole bunch of it is not truth. And I was just like, what the? They're like, nobody's going to keep reading if it's a boring story. And I'm like, but if the story is the true story, that's the one that should be told, right? But you'll notice that people are leaning toward a story without actually saying that it's factual. They will lean a certain way to lead you with your thoughts.
Or add in somebody's name.
Right. So they'll lead what you're supposed to think at the end of this story instead of just telling you the facts and letting you come up with that yourself. I feel like the media perpetuates double standards and they encourage us to not think for ourselves. This is how you feel today, society. Here you go.
Well, Denzel said it many years ago, and I'm not quoting it right, but something to the effect is you don't even have to tell the truth anymore. You just got to be first to tell a story. You just got to be the first one to tell the story.
Everybody wants to be the person with the news.
So no, you got to tell the truth. Just be first.
You agree, JD?
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys.
I 100%. After they just don't want us to think for ourselves anymore. That whole media situation when it came to Keke Palmer, I feel like she spun that wonderfully.
You are a mother.
Yeah, you are a mother. What about you're a mother or whatever with her child's father? Yeah, upset with the dress
Keke
that she wore to usher.
Hey, you heard
your boy up.
She's single now.
Right.
She's
she dumped it?
Yeah, they
broke up.
that.
They broke up.
Yeah, good.
I wasn't
single
hoping
now.
for. I wasn't hoping for another broken family, but
they wasn't married, were
they were not married.
Yeah, no. Well, that's fair game. That's happening in love and war.
Yeah, because this dudes out here posting thirst traps, dick pics, all kind of stuff. You are somebody's daddy.
Yeah, right. Why am I the only one that has to be held to a standard, right?
And I thought there was some bull in the first place. Like, dude, first of all,
having fun.
Yeah, and I watched the video over and over and over again just to see if I saw something that was even noteworthy. She said, "You at an Usher concert. What you expect your girl to do?
Exactly.
Like,
why would you not want her to be grown and sexy on her birthday? That's crazy.
I would have picked out the outfit, baby. Have a good time.
Exactly.
See you. Have a good night.
I'll see you when you get back.
I'll see you when you get
Exactly.
back. I'll see you when you get back. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, I'm over in this $1 million mansion.
Exactly.
That you provided. All right, yeah,
For
baby.
our child.
For our child. I'm gonna go get this car in this Mercedes truck going down to the beach while you going to Usher. Have a nice time.
Go
Enjoy
down to the
yourself.
casino, girl. Go ahead, have fun.
You gonna stay an extra day? Do that too, baby. I'm all for it. Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Have fun, girl. Shake your ass, but watch yourself.
Right, that's it.
See you when you get home.
Yeah, that wasn't disrespectful at all. I'm cool with it.
We are now getting into the portion that I'm super excited about because my homie is single.
Yeah, let's talk about it. What
He
we
out
got?
here singling and mingling. We are still talking double standards, but we're gonna do double standards in love. Right. So we talked about gender roles a minute ago. What would you say is a double standard that you secretly or not so secretly love or wish that you could exploit for your own amusement?
Jess, you first.
No.
You the single one.
Yeah, you the single one.
Ask me the question again. I'm gonna ponder this for
What is
you
a double standard that you secretly love or wish that you could exploit for your own amusement?
Goodness, that's a good one. They used to play the music where it goes. The double standard I wish I could exploit for myself. I don't know. I'm really stumped on that one. I've been out the game so long now. I don't even think. It's how you know you so focused on business now. Because I'm like I haven't even really thought about love like that, which is a stupid kind of statement to say. In this,
You've been grinding.
Yeah, I was like, you've been in career mode.
So if I had
love a chance before.
Yeah, right. If I had to exploit something that she would have to, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. We both have the same kind of hustle.
Ambition.
Ambition. I would want for both of us to exploit that together and separately, if that makes sense. I don't know.
So you want a woman that grinds. You want a woman that gets her own money and whatnot. Not that you're saying that you don't want to pay for things. Just
we all good, but I mean, I'm in a different mentality right now in my life where I love to see women doing it. And when I say doing it, I mean you going out there. You're not worried about what a man can provide for you. You said I can do it myself, because that, from a man's perspective, that makes me want to do more for you, which is crazy. But that's the way it goes. You can hold on to yours as long as you got yours,
right? And
I'm cool with that. But I find that extremely sexy right now. Oh.
What about you, baby? What's a double standard you secretly love or wish that you could exploit for your own amusement?
Being in a lesbian relationship and being more masculine, I wish you would kill more bugs.
So that's one that you love?
She wants you to.
That I want.
That's one that you want. That wasn't a question.
She wants you out here stomping them out. Come on, get to it. Get that bug. The bug is on them.
And I'm allergic to insect saliva. Why would you want me to die?
I don't want
Get
you
you
to die.
get you a long swatter.
Your grandma had one of those back in the day.
They could sit on their seat in their little comfort chair and swat from across the room and not even get out their seat. You know what she's talking
That's
about.
very true.
No, but I do love that you buy flowers because we like flowers too. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. If we have any masculine presenting females in the audience, but we love flowers too. We want to get our draw slid off too. So we are still ladies. We still like that kind of stuff too.
There you go. Yeah, the groundwork has been laid.
I
Do you
fuck
hear
with that. I
that?
fuck with that. No, those things are taken care of.
Outside of that fly, I'm gonna look up on Amazon. I'm gonna start looking at long fly swatters, and I'm gonna deliver one to y'all.
That's my birthday gift.
Yep, that is it. That is it.
A double standard I secretly love or would like to exploit. I like the double standard of no. That
See how your own question stumped you. So now I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. Right? Yeah, I don't feel bad at all now. I was feeling bad over here, like I didn't answer the question. But now I'm like, okay, you didn't even answer your own question. Go ahead. Yeah.
I would say a double standard that I love is the fact that I am in so many different communities. It's very, very, I love the fact that most people don't like to argue with someone who is a part of said community, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to racism, you want the black people on your side, right? If somebody's bringing up racism. Like with Butch Bradley, he was on stage, he said something, and it wasn't racist what he said. He's not racist. There's no racist bone in his body. Absolutely love Butch. But he said something because he did not know who Chadwick Boseman was. And the crowd said something about about Black Panther, and he said something like Chadwick Boseman was my cousin or something like that. And he kept saying it. The guy was drunk. Being a comedian, he brushed it off and was like, whatever, fuck that guy. And the whole room was like, whoa, because we had such respect for Chadwick Boseman. And he was like, oh, I feel like I made a mistake, right? And I loved the fact, one, that he acknowledged it. Mm-hmm. But I loved that we were so forgiving in that moment because you could tell Butch he's got the kindest heart ever. But I love that as a black woman, that's not something I have to worry about when I'm on stage. Right. When I'm talking about race, it's just kind of like a given that that's who you want on your side when talking about race, right? When talking about parenting as a mother, people let me talk and vent out what it is that I'm venting. When talking about military, because I'm a vet, like just being able, because of my life experiences, even though people don't know exactly what I went through, I'm given the benefit of the doubt. And I love that I'm given the benefit of the doubt because it's given me the opportunity to continue to learn and grow and learn even more information about these topics without me feeling like I'm obligated to know them so that I don't walk on eggshells while I'm on stage. Right? Like I need to know this because when I go on stage and I say somebody's name and I say, fuck that guy, right? And I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about that guy. It puts me in a position to go, oh, I need to learn a little bit more about even more communities, even though I'm a part of them. So I love the double standard of me being given the benefit of the doubt. Okay. And I do exploit it. I bring up all kinds of topics and subjects to talk about because who's going to check me, boo? Okay. All
right. Then there it is.
So, yeah.
You heard it here first.
For you, can you share maybe you already said you may not have any. Can you share a humorous anecdote or a highlight of a double standard that you've encountered in your personal life? So just in life, period. Like whether it could have been with your marriage. You said you paid the majority of the bills to your marriage. That's not hilarious, but just something funny where you were just like, why am I doing this? Right? Like,
I mean, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, because I've been in marriages. I've been in relationships where I've been doing pretty much all of that, and you start looking around at what the other person is bringing to the table. You're like, man, come on now. Like, you got to give me something. Like, give me something to work with, something to look forward to when I come home, or something, something that makes me understand why I'm doing all this. And again, we talked about it, the why. Help me to get to my why am I doing this. So yeah, I mean that's something huge that was with me, and it is to this day that I don't think I will ever really do it again until I have a mutual reciprocation of something that I know I'm getting in return that I know what I'm getting the value for. It's almost like it is an investment. I want to know what I'm, just like business, I'm putting my money in. I want to know what the fuck I'm getting out of this for me. And so I'm cool with that right now. And if I can't get that, then I'm cool.
I get that.
No, we totally get it. We totally get it.
I would say for me, I got married really young. And when I got married, I did not know how to drive. And so my ex-husband actually taught me how to drive, but he ended up having to teach me how to drive because when we got married, he didn't know that I didn't know how to drive.
It shows you how stupid
Young
they
and
were.
dumb we were, man. We got married in the military. So in the military, you go to basic training and they ship you. You never drive. They ship you to AIT. So they shipped me to school and all your transportation is taken care of for you. You get taxis, buses, whatever, to wherever it is you need to go. So there was no reason for this man to know that I could not drive. Because we weren't allowed to drive. So we got married during that time, and when we, move on to our base, I'm pregnant. I'm whole pregnant with this man's child now, and I got to get to doctor's appointments. I got to do all of this stuff, and he's like, cool, just take the car. And I'm like,
where?
So we can both now? Like, what do you mean? I thought you loved me, right?
That's hilarious.
So I would say what was hilarious about that is, one, he assumed that because I was a hard worker and a grinder, and I've always kind of been a person that was about my money, that I knew how to do all of these things, and I didn't. I just had knowledge and good words. I could speak well and present myself well. I didn't know how to drive.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, so he had to teach me how to drive just so that I could get to my doctor's appointments and whatnot. And the military actually ended up giving him a couple days off to do it.
Wait a minute, they gave him time
they gave
off?
him 3 days off to
Y'all
teach
don't
me how to
understand
drive.
the privilege that she gets. It wasn't about him. It wasn't about him. It was about
like she gonna cut
her.
she gonna cut the hell up. So we gonna have to give that man 3 days.
They gave him 3 days to teach me how to drive. But their excuse was they would have to then let him off of work multiple days throughout my pregnancy to take me to my doctor's appointments and stuff if they didn't allow him to just teach me how to drive right then. So they gave him 3 days off to teach me how to drive. I learned it in 5 days because it was a weekend. So I learned in the weekend plus 3 days how to drive.
You know how I learned how to drive a stick shift?
That explains so much your driving skills. It explains so much.
In 5 days.
I learned how to drive a stick line to my college roommate because I needed to go see this girl. And he had a stick shift truck. And I was like, hey, man, yeah, I could drive it. And I could not drive a stick shift to save life. And I had his car stuck in an intersection.
Damn.
And he had to come get his car. That's how I learned how to drive a stick shift, though.
I learned how to drive both at the same time.
Okay, see?
Yeah.
See?
I had a cousin who had a stick shift because it wasn't many people that had one when I was learning how to drive. And my cousin had one. Was like, I'm going to teach you how to do both. So
there you go.
One of my battle buddies when I was in the military, after one of our drills, took me home and said he was going to teach me how to drive a stick shift. And we were in a cul-de-sac.
You fucked that man car up, didn't
I
you?
almost
fucked that man
that
car
wasn't
up.
the part that almost fucked me up. I was looking down trying to do the shifts. It ended up taking off and almost ran over my grandma.
Not Goggy?
Yeah, Goggy. I almost hit Goggy. I looked up and went right past her car. She was like, yeah! She threw her Bible in the air and everything. She was on her way to Bible study.
No.
I was like, good thing you had your Bible. God protected you.
Oh, my Lord.
She just shielded it up.
Oh.
She didn't get to cussing.
Be the power I need, Lord.
She threw her Bible in the air and just leaned against her car. I was like, I'm
yes,
sorry.
Oh, my Lord.
Would you consider yourself traditional, progressive, or conservative in regards to the type of woman that attracts you?
Progressive.
Yeah,
I need her to be up to speed on what's going on currently. But I'm progressive and traditional. I believe in certain traditional values. I want to keep things traditional within the relationship, but I also want her to be progressive and understand what's going on in this world. We got to shift and change gears with that, with what's going on. So yeah.
The only constant is change.
The only constant is change.
What would you say are some of the things that are progressive about your? Would you say just the money part, just the grinding part, or what other things are more progressive in the way that you
handle life?
A woman that attracts you, yeah.
A woman.
In a woman that attracts you. What other progressive?
Just her go-getter attitude. I mean, your willingness to help where it's needed, especially if you see. And this goes both ways. If you see your mate doing a whole lot, then find something to take some pressure off of them.
To be thoughtful.
Yeah, be thoughtful. And ultimately, just have your own thing going on. Like I said, I know what I have going on, and I'm
have your own business.
Yeah, have your own business.
Have your own business.
My marriage was like that. She was not into doing her own thing. Everything had to be circled around what I was doing, and that's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. Not even from a woman's perspective. Y'all need to be able to have your own value to a relationship.
What about you? Would you consider yourself traditional, progressive, or conservative in regard to the type of woman that attracts you, GD?
That means you speaking to Joe King.
God.
Answer correctly.
Let's make sure. Don't send no landmine up here.
It'd be interesting to hear her point of view or what she thinks she is.
Attracted to?
Yeah, what kind of woman attracts you? In your mindset, are you traditional, progressive, or conservative in regards to the type of woman that attracts you?
That attracts me. Probably a combination of progressive.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go. We just made a whole new word. Traditional.
Progressive and traditional. Because I will do the masculine things like kill the bugs and take out the trash and stuff like that. But I also do the motherly shit too. I wash the clothes and make beds and do the laundry, wash dishes. So I'm a mix of all of it.
I would agree.
There you go.
I would agree. I would say that I'm progressive and traditional. I kind of fit in where you need me to fit in, if that makes sense, because I'm selfish. Like and I'm realizing it. Yeah, like I'm realizing it because I was such a giver, right? Growing up, I was such a giver, and I was giving all of my energy and all of my time and my money and just so much of myself when I was younger. And then I had that moment where I stopped and realized, why am I doing this? Like, especially for people who were not reciprocating. And I'm in a stage in my life where I'm realizing now, like, I started getting blessed with people who were reciprocating it, and I didn't change. You know, so I stopped, giving that love and giving that attention and giving all that I was giving. And then people who deserved it started coming into my life, and I was the one that was wrong because I wasn't reciprocating it. I became the people that I left. Right. So now, like I said, I'm 32 and I'm realizing that, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got this partner here who's helpful in doing all the things that I wanted the person that I was with before to do. And now she's out here on a boat by herself, like, hello, you gonna tag in? Like, I'm trying to help, but you gonna tap yourself in or what? So in that, I'm realizing that I still have those traditional beliefs as far as I do feel there's a place for certain. Well, I won't say there's a place. I will say there are certain things that I will not do. Like she said, I don't touch the trash. Even when I was in Texas and I wasn't in a relationship, I still had other people come and do the trash part. My brothers would come and do it. Yeah. My homeboys,
you had drive-by trash service.
Yeah. Yep. And if none of them could do it, my daddy came and did it. I'm not taking out the trash. I was very stupid about it. I'm not doing it. I put it in the garage.
I clearly.
And then the one time she did take out the trash because she was packing. We were packing to move here. She wanted to be celebrated for it.
I wanted claps and everything. My brothers pulled up late, and they were like, "You took the trash out?" I was like, "They were like, oh shit, she took the trash out." Yeah, it was a whole celebratory moment because I was like, I don't do. There's just certain things that I'm like, I won't do. Now, if you turn around and you say, okay, now if you said you won't touch the trash at all, then something that I'm absolutely against is sweeping. I don't like sweeping or mopping. That's you. Okay, cool. We can tag in. I don't mind sweeping or mopping, whatever, like that. But I'm not touching trash. So I do believe that I have some of those traditional things where I'm just like, I don't feel like I should touch the grass. I'm not mowing nobody's lawn. I'm not doing it.
When we had grass back in Texas, I mowed. I like mowing the lawn though. It's something that
it's
actually,
peaceful.
It was very. You put your headphones on, get in the zone,
and I will pour my lemonade and celebrate you for doing it. But I'm not. I'm not doing that. Right.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. I'm really starting to see a pattern here. Right.
Progressive. Yes.
I'm learning something new every day.
So I'm getting, and then the double. I won't say double standard, but the expectation actually between us is that I'm like the super feminine, super nurturing one, and she's the mask one. And in reality, like I'm not. She's not the very nurturing. Yeah, like I'm the dad, bro. I'm the dad, and that's why
when it comes to fighting and stuff, I'ma stand behind her.
Yeah, she's like, babe, get that
She's
nigga. You know,
I don't.
She's
I
6'2".
can see that. I can see.
She's
that.
the fighter. I'm the lover.
I am the protector, the provider, all of it, the nurturing. And then it's funny because I'm the one that has the kids, right? I'm the one who birthed the children. They're biologically mine, but she's the nurturer. So she's the one that's like, here, let me put the lotion on your head and on your face and whatnot before they go to school. I'm like, you got your shoes on, let's go. Like I'm the dad. So
all good.
Yeah, that's
it works.
Yeah, it works for us.
It works.
But I also feel like I play the role no matter how it goes, because before I got in a relationship with her, in my last relationship, which was a heterosexual relationship with my son's father, I did all of the things that she does, and because what his mindset was very much a more traditional. He's a Nigerian, so grass and taking the trash and providing became his thing, and it kind of put my stuff on the back burner to where I was at home doing the kid thing. So I play my role, is what I will say.
There you go. There you go.
Would you say that double standards in love stem from a need for control and power, or from something else?
It can be either or. It's depending on the person. And some people like control. They love to have control of every situation and every facet of the relationship, and that's what they do. And it's in some people who are lacking certain things in their life, and that's their unfortunate default to how they respond to situations. So it could be either or. And again, I've seen both. I've had the control person, and I've had the person that lacked that kind of support, for lack of better words, in their life when they were growing up. So now they're almost needy for a certain attention from you. So yeah, it could go either or.
Do you think double standards are in love, or in love are for control and power, or something else?
I would say it's probably a combination of everything. I think a lot of standards were placed on us just from slavery, and those have been passed down. So I won't say it's necessarily control and power, but then a lot of women couldn't have jobs, so they were the housewives. So the double standard with men is men can't be house husbands; they are frowned upon. And I got
Kiki,
a brother.
call me Kiki.
I got a brother who thrives in that role. Yeah. He's a nurturer to the kids. He does great with all of that. So I would say it's a combination of all of it. I don't think it's one or the other.
I would agree, but I feel that no matter what what it stems from, I feel that it's taught. Because when I was in my marriage, it was very much so controlling. It was very much so, I'm going to do this, you're not going to do that. And I've always been a grinder and a hustler for my money. And the way that he took my power was in making me quit my job. If I no longer had the money, in his mind, it meant I couldn't leave him. I don't know why that convinced him, because I just called my daddy for a plane ticket. But when I got tired, I'm leaving, right? Like, I got out of there. But at the time, there was a lot of control. There was a lot of power. And again, one of the things that I'm coming out of is realizing that it ended up teaching me to be that, because in my relationships following, I was fighting for control and power with men that weren't even looking for it. Like, they were just like, we're here for you, you know, what's up? And I was so busy trying to make sure that I still had my power and control over a situation and that I was safe, that I ended up pushing people away, trying to make sure that I was going to be okay by myself. So I think that it's taught, because I was taught that I was powerless in that relationship. So I went into every other relationship after that fighting for power, trying to establish it from the beginning.
Real quick, Carlos. In relationships that you're in, who is the initiator of sex?
Probably women.
Okay.
Mostly the women?
Yeah, women. Because I've never been that dude that I'm a press up. Unless there's an organic vibe that happens in that fashion. So I just kind of let her, hey, dictate, listen, let's go. Let's go. And I'm cool with that. But yeah, for me, it's been mostly women.
Okay. So, like, in a relationship as well, once you enter a relationship with someone, is usually the woman who initiates?
Nah, in a relationship, it's all bets off. Yeah, all bets. Yeah, but especially initially when we in that getting to know each other stage, or it's just like that, and then I let the woman initiate, especially in this day and age.
Okay. Now tell us, because we've been waiting and we're almost out of time here. Well, no, we're not.
We got 1 minute left.
Tell us about your new special. I know we'll be able to stream it here soon. It's not released just yet. I'm still waiting on my vinyl.
Let's see, what time is it? The album drops at 12 midnight tonight on iTunes, and then the actual visual part that comes on Amazon Prime drops on August the 25th. So roughly 2 weeks apart. But yeah, it's called Part-Time Famous. I'll explain that in the special, but it's a lot. It's a lot of hard work put into this. Had one shot to do this special, so in front of a packed audience, and I'm pleased with the product. I know that I can do better, and I've learned from that process to this to where I am even current. I'm a whole different comic now, but it was a great learning experience, and I think
this is your first special, correct?
First special.
We were there for the taping, and
yeah,
it was very funny.
I appreciate y'all.
Go watch it. It's super funny. Part-Time Famous. There's a dash between part and time, right?
Yeah,
Part-Time Famous by Carlos Anthony. I just wanted to make sure so that they knew when they were typing it in, just in case.
You go to parttimefamous.com or Laugh After Dark. Laugh After Dark is make sure I give them a huge shout out for producing it.
Laugh After Dark was the production company. Shout out to them. They also have a comedy fest coming up here soon in October. So shout out to Kelsey and them. That's super dope. And thank you so much for joining us, Carlos. This has been a dope conversation.
Always a pleasure. Love y'all.
He always has the greatest opinions. We love hearing picking his brain. But yes, guys, be sure to go and download that. It is on iTunes at midnight tonight. Part-Time Famous by Carlos Anthony. And you can also follow him on all social media platforms at Part-Time Famous as well, correct?
At Comedian Carlos on Instagram. Go to parttimefamous.com. You'll see everything is right there.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to Laugh Therapy. We will catch y'all next Thursday at 4 same time. We hope you guys got a good laugh in, and definitely tag us for future conversations. Thank you guys so much.
All right, y'all.